Let's say hello to Mahjoob Zweiri, a professor of contemporary Middle East studies at Qatar University. If you watch TRT World News regularly, you know exactly who he is. Mahjoob, great to see you. How do you see this meeting at the White House going on Monday between Netanyahu and Trump? Is it possible that Donald Trump may allow Israel or give Israel permission to perhaps even, let's say, permanently take over the occupied territories in return for the truce that the US president seems to want?
Well, glad to be with you, Adnan, as always. This meeting is very interesting, Adnan, because this meeting is coming after the previous meeting where the President Trump announced in the meeting that he engaged in a negotiation with Iran. At that time, Netanyahu was shocked. Now Netanyahu is going to the White House with a list that to-do list has been done. Iran has been attacked, nuclear site has been destroyed. So basically, what is left? Left is ceasefire in Gaza, and now no excuse, because basically previously the discussion was about, still the head of the snake need to be dealt with, and means by that Iran. So now there is no excuse, and especially there are very clear reports from the military side in Israel that saying there are no any targets in Gaza left. Anything as according to them, they attack, they may kill hostages. So basically, I think Netanyahu is not in a good position in that side, and he has to listen to Trump if he wants his support in two things. One, convincing the courts in Israel to just save his face, save the Netanyahu face, and secondly, what is about the day after of Israel? He needs the economic support from the United States. He needs to replace all of the armed military they used on this war on Gaza. So he needs Trump, and he needs to listen to him carefully. Otherwise, he will be in a trouble politically and also economically.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that what will happen to Israel the day after the war. And of course, you will well remember some months ago that initial ceasefire deal with the 3 different phases. It had addressed what would also happen to Gaza after the war. But now we're not hearing anything about that at all. Why do you think that is? Who will rule Gaza? How will it be reconstructed? Where will people live while reconstruction is happening? None of that is being openly talked about now.
Well, simply, most of the countries, including European and Americans, they have realized, according to what I know, basically, that they realized that the day after cannot be done without stopping this war first. And you cannot discuss it before ending the war. Hamas has said they have no interest to lead or to be in charge in Gaza. They want anybody, technocrats, Arabs, Arab League representatives, representatives from Arab countries to be there to run the place until until they can create a very spaces for people to live. These are the questions no one answered them. I think the priority now is basically to get food and water and medicine to the people where they live, even under the sky, as we say. Day after, all of those proposals have failed, because basically Netanyahu insisted on what's so-called, the victory, which he defined of basically ending Hamas. Hamas still exists, and according to the assessment of his army, Netanyahu's army, they have recruited just in the last year more than 25,000 fighters. So basically, the day after is in the sky, as we say. The priority now to the Palestinian and to the world, as far as I know, to get aid as early as possible, and then think of what will happen next.
Mahjoob Zweiri, thank you so much, as always.
Pleasure, Adnan. Thank you.